Yellow Home
with Anna Schofield
and Big House.
And we're live through till 8 o'clock tonight. Bickering and fighting, keeping you entertained right through till 8.
100%. Okay, Anna, let's talk about this Twitter thing real quick. So Fleets. So Twitter launches this thing called Fleets.
Yeah.
And basically what it does is the tweets disappear after 24 hours. Which, if you don't know, the stories on Instagram do that. Snapchat does. It's all about that. There's no post on Snapchat. It's only that.
Yeah, you
so
can't
the stories,
save anything really.
Exactly. The stories disappear after 24 hours. And I don't know. What do you think about that, Anna?
So what's Twitter saying, just before we get into it, is that they hope the new feature will help reduce pressure around tweeting. And so by letting users, they can be more casual with their thoughts and more casual with their feelings, knowing that it's going to disappear in 24 hours anyway. They don't have to say something profound or rack up likes and retweets.
Okay.
It's just about having a comment and having a commentary. So I quite like that depiction of it. That's quite nice. It's because the whole thing of likes and retweets and,
Yeah, but still that doesn't make sense to me because, look, I'm a heavy Twitter user.
Yeah.
Like, if someone would ask me Twitter or Instagram, I'm really heavy on Twitter.
Okay.
So when you go on Twitter and you post whatever it is that you're posting, right? Like, for example, today I posted this funny thing. I'm not sure if you can see it, and I'm running in the hallway of where I am. I'm just, like, being stupid, Just, like, there's nothing.
What were the knees doing? Big knees up. Love it.
Anyway.
And you posted that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Love
So anyway, you post it, and then you have people reply to you, right? Saying what happened or whatever it is. I'm just saying, this is very simple, but yet the tweet will disappear after 24 hours. Usually it's a Instagram when you post stories about your day.
Yeah.
You don't want this to always be there. So for example, today you're talking about, this one, and you go on in your car, hey guys, seatbelt on before you start the engine, you're not driving, we're not condoning that. And then you're saying, hey, I'm talking about 1, 2, 3 today. You don't want this to stay always there, so it disappears. It makes sense.
Yeah.
For Twitter, you could just simply delete the tweet and never exist it. I don't really see the value of having a 24-hour tweet.
Yeah, I mean, the fundamentally, they are getting in the game with everyone else who is doing this disappearing thing. You've got TikTok being a very kind of well, that's a content platform, but you've got Snapchat where everything disappears. Instagram, you can do stories that disappear. They want to get in on the game, and everyone wants what everyone else has. And I feel like all of these social media platforms are going to merge into one soon, and they're all going to morph into the same thing. They're all going to offer the video section. They're all going to offer the content section because that is what's happening.
Yeah, a lot of, the quotes I'm reading here, they're saying they disappear from a view after a day. Fleets helped people feel more comfortable sharing personal and casual thoughts, opinion, and feelings. But that's exactly what IG stories are.
That's exactly
so, and again, with Twitter, if you're a Twitter user, you understand what I mean. Like, when you tweet, you get people tweeting you back or liking or retweeting or pushing it. So I really feel, seriously, I don't know what Twitter are doing with this, because it's not something new. Like, it's not something that they're...
No, it's not a brand new concept. No, they're just being like everyone else. That's them moving into the century that we're in and feeling like they're going to be... Remember, everything is instant. Everything. Kids are literally, they've got 10-second goldfish brains. So it's instant. And I think probably they're wanting the younger generation.
Could be. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? 4215, it's Salat and Do. We've just approached the blessed prayer for Al-Maghrib, so we're going to take that break and we will be right back.
Yellow Home
with Anna Schofield
and Big House.
Oh yes, 20-6. Nice having you with us. All right, so one of the things that I actually learned speaking to a friend, a few English friends, and certainly speaking to Taryn as well, Taryn Callender, who we had in. He is a West End performer. He was in the show a week before last, actually. He's never gone home since the interview with Hassan Ice, still in the UAE. He's having a blast.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone home, but he's also got no work. So he was very much, because when we were talking afterwards, I said to him, so have the government looked after performers? And he went, no. And I still, they're talking a good game, because they're implying that they're giving all these grants and 80% salary, and it went nothing to any performers, none of the actors. They've all literally, they've got rent, they've got cars, they're all just in trouble.
But you have this thing called what's it called, the furlough? Yeah. So
when you're furloughed, you haven't lost your job, you're just put out to pasture, as it were. You've just got to sit tight. Nobody can pay their rent on Sit Tight, and they haven't given any actors or actresses any money.
And no gigs, obviously, because
No
of
gigs.
the COVID.
Theatres are dark. No one's, they can't do anything. And they weren't making any TV content for the longest time. Anyway, so what's happened is suddenly this article pops up today, and the headline is 2020 was meant to be my year. That's the quote. How COVID-19 is impacting emerging performers. And of course, the shot is taken down. It's not Shaftesbury Avenue, but it's it's near there. So you see this shot. Okay, that's London.
Yeah.
And it's my patch. I was like, oh yeah, and it's got Les Mis there and blah blah blah. Basically, they're saying that the government pledged 1.57 billion pounds for a rescue package, but there are loads of performers who haven't received a penny, but also other performers who were about to break.
Yeah.
So 2020 would have been their year. And they've spoken to these. One of them is a lady called Lily Phillips, and she was a comic based in London, doing really well. She'd just been booked to do the Pleasance Reserve, which is I've been there many, many times. The Pleasance in Edinburgh Fringe Festival is really the place to be. If you've got a slot there, you're a new comedian, you're going to have a great time. Massive exposure, agents go, everybody goes. And of course, Edinburgh Festival was cancelled this year.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know if she'll get that next year.
Like, the headline makes total sense, but not only emerging artists, but specifically like creatives generally. Like,
you're right.
Because the people that are freelancers that depend on that.
Yeah.
They all went in a really crazy because
no one's employing them.
Exactly, and they use their savings or whatever they have from the savings, and that obviously went away this year because it didn't take a couple of months. It took the whole year.
Yeah.
So I get it. I totally get it. But, just quickly speaking about with somebody here who's a big agent, they were a big, huge agent that I can't reveal their names. He actually was a bit rough when it comes to emerging talents. He said this to me, and they're huge.
Oh, okay.
They brought Eminem here.
Right.
They brought everybody big here.
Okay.
He said this to me. That was like 3-4 days ago. He said, Haas, if these emerging artists did not break now, then they don't deserve to be artists anyway. And I said, why? He said, this is the time now where everyone is focused on them. Like, and he had a little bit of point in that, because everything right now is coming local and homegrown.
Yeah.
You don't understand, in the past 3-4 months.
Did he mean local UAE artists?
He meant the UAE, but he generally speaking about the world as well. If all these local artists did not break out now in this pandemic, where you're not allowed to have people coming in from outside and stuff like that. If you don't make it right now, then change your profession. That's what he said.
You see, in the UK, you're not. I suppose it's a bit different. Nothing's going on. You can't do anything. There are no
same
musicians.
as here.
But restaurants are still closed. Restaurants are closed. Anywhere that hired entertainers is closed. You're not allowed to have it. You're not allowed to do it. So the UAE is sort of opened up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was talking also the online presence. But no, I disagreed.
Maybe.
I disagreed with him. I just think that it hit a lot of people because, especially like you're saying, and
if
it's
you're
very
not known,
tough. No,
and it's the beginning of the year and you've got your bookings planned and then it's all cancelled. What are you? I mean, I would say to this agent, what are you supposed to do? You're 20 years old. You were about to, you've been gigging for however long. You've been working hard.
Yeah.
You've got it booked and everything. The one thing I would say is that it sort of focused on young performers here. These guys are going to be young performers next year too.
Yeah.
And let's just hope that yes, 2020 was hard, but they'll still be there next year. They're still the performer who was booked for the Pleasance at Edinburgh Festival. You're still the actor that came out of Bristol Old Vic School and was ready to go into acting. You're still that person.
Of course, but it just hits you hard.
Yeah,
it just also hits you hard. I mean, talking to the homegrown or local artists over here, it's the same experience, fam.
Having a terrible time, right?
It is the same experience everywhere. It don't matter where you're from. Everyone got hit.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is that the pandemic has opened doors, like different doors. For example, a couple of friends of mine, they have a small fan base and they're like, homegrown artists. So they said, okay, you know what? There's no gigs, but there's this thing called Patreon or many others. What Patreon and platforms like that do is that if you subscribe for a small amount per month, let's say $5 a month, you get exclusive content that only you can get if you signed up to me.
Okay.
And if you get like 10 people that pay $5 a month, that's $50. Right?
Okay.
And there's like things that you can give. For example, a friend of mine, he's giving $5, $10, and $15. The $15, he'll send you some merch and he will send you exclusive videos. He'll chat with you on Instagram Live if you pay $15 a
So
month.
explain it to me. So hang on, where's the money going?
To the artist, 100%.
So the artist doesn't pay the $5. They sign up to
They
be
sign
on
up,
the platform.
They sign up to be on Patreon. Let's say I'm an artist, and I would say, okay, this is guys, $5, $10, $15, and I give kind of tricks.
And then I come along and I go, I like Big Hass.
Yeah.
I give $5.
Yep, a month.
And you get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and so do I just flick through all these artists as the consumer?
Yeah.
I flick through all these artists and go, I quite like the look of Big Hass.
Yeah. And it's a support to them directly. So that's why I'm saying it.
How does Patreon make its money?
I think they make a small percentage, to be honest. I don't know the exact detail, but they make very small percentage.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, they have to make money.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is that opened in the pandemic, not before. Patreon existed before.
Right.
It's just now, it's like Zoom.
Right.
You know, or
right.
Skype or whatever it is. Yeah, Skype no longer in the conversation. But
It really is.
you missed your bus, Skype. But I just think it's really magnificent. So I'm subscribed to 2 artists right now that I pay $15 a month to, where I get exclusive merch, exclusive YouTube videos, Instagram lives, or like, you know, just chatting about what they're doing.
Okay.
And it's only me that I get, or whoever paid that amount.
Right.
It's not really a big amount to spend, but it's the quantity of people.
Yeah.
So now what happens is that artists are a bit too sensitive that, oh, hey, I don't have no one really that wants to support me. And this is where the problem is. You have to build a fan base. So how do you expect? And this is where you go back to your story, and the UK is, or England is a different ballgame. It's all built to support. There's a system to support.
There is.
Local and regional and homegrown. Like Georgia Smith, who we've been talking about, is a homegrown talent. She's been growing, but this woman has over 3 million followers on Instagram.
So she's going to do fine.
Name me one homegrown artist here who has over 10,000 followers.
Right,
you know, so I mean, I'm just saying it's a bit different to compare.
Yeah.
But I just like you said, Anna, they will be back next year, but it's tough. It hit hard.
I know this year's been horrible, but it's been brutal for a lot of people. The only thing is that I don't think the governments have looked after freelancers, and I don't know what you do about that. It's not like I've got an answer. They should have done this. I don't know what you do as a freelancer. You know, how can you gauge the money you would have earned when you're a freelancer? Show last year's accounts. What do you do?
Yeah, you brought that to the table about a month ago when you said the DJ. Remember, he was playing at the rooftop. He's British. And again, it's just hard to make money that way, you know, and
lost all his gigs.
The government is not going to be able to pay every single artist out there.
How can they do that?
Yeah, the UAE done it here, but you have to be registered in a freelance kind of, which is hard because not every artist is also registered as a freelance. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's just crazy, but
and there wasn't always the proof or the trail, or it wasn't a contract. They were a resident somewhere, or they got a lot of work from, but it was ad hoc.
Yeah.
So proving freelance work is very, very difficult.
It's tough. I mean, our hearts definitely go out to you, and that's why if you have a sustainable kind of salary, you got to be thankful to God, and you know. But if you're one of those guys that are struggling, the only thing I think I can say is, like, may God be with you, and it's tough. You just have to figure out other ways to make income as well. You know,
quite right.
But that's crazy. God bless everybody, man. This story hits hard because I really feel what they're saying.
That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna be right back.
Yella Home
With Anna Schofield.
and Big Hass.
Music's greatest songs. Worth covering. Original classic hitmakers.
Yeah, so we're going to do music with guts right now, because this song is one of those journeys. You start at the beginning, you have a brilliant time for 3.5 minutes, and then you're rinsed at the end. Pure rock and roll, totally brilliant. Let me tell you the story of the song. You might know it from Britney Spears. She made it very famous. She took it to Vegas, and she got it really wrong in the marketing of the story. What?
Please don't say Britney Spears in this song. People know this song from Britney Spears. Is that a fact?
Fact.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I got to do this. Oh, come on.
No, but let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay, because she also committed such a blunder during the release PR statement for this song. Very, very funny. But this song is proper rock and roll. It's called I Love Rock and Roll. It was written by Alan Merrill. Alan Merrill is most famous for it, but also there was another writer, Jake Hooker. And yes, that was his name. Now, they were part of a band called The Arrows, and it was released in 1975. That's how far it goes back. So they released it. Now, I've listened to the original version, and I nearly put the Arrows version in here. The thing is that I'm like you, Hass. I also am Joan Jett's version, which is the gutsiest version you've ever seen. And she rocks it from start to finish. So I wanted to have that on our playlist here at Pulse 95. But the original one was 1975. actually Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, which for the last few days while I've been researching, I keep calling Joan Jett and the Blackheads, which really doesn't quite sound as good. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and I'm going to tell you about them in a minute because they're quite interesting. So they released the single version of this from the album of the same name, and it became the highest charting hit for them and for Joan Jett, who was the most well-known member of the band. Reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in America and became number 3 for 1982. What is that? The third song for 1982. Oh, okay. Certified platinum, sat there for weeks. Everyone loved it. And the song is now in the Grammy Hall of Fame. Been covered a few times.
Yeah, easy. Like, this is a song that... it feels to me, not to hijack the segment.
It's fine, go.
It's like not putting it in the same categories where like We Are the Champions and rock and roll.
It is one of those.
It's like the same, this universal.
Yeah.
I love rock and roll.
Yeah, and like We Will Rock You. You know that kind of...
We Will Rock You, exactly.
That's the one you get. And you join in with this song and everyone sings it. Now, this is where Britney Spears comes in. Just a little taster because it's quite funny. So she's on her 4th European single by this time, okay? It's the 27th of May, 2002. The song was used in a film called Crossroads, and Britney was in the Crossroads. She played the character Lucy.
Yeah.
And Lucy performs in a karaoke bar. And so Britney said of the song, look, they asked me to sing karaoke in the movie Crossroads, and I'd actually sung I Love Rock and Roll in clubs before. Like she'd been out and she'd sung it, so she knew the song, she loved it. Now, she actually loved the original version by the Arrows, funnily enough. But when they asked her to film this song in the film, she said it was the original version that she was listening to first. She went out and she really enjoyed singing it. So it's got guts and power. That's all really great fun until you hear that during the single's release, Britney mistakenly attributed the hit version of the song, which is Joan Jett, to Pat Benatar.
And it's not the case.
No,
Wow.
Pat was nowhere near this song. And really embarrassing for
Pat
Joan.
sings Love is a Battlefield?
Love is a Battlefield,
Oh,
and yeah.
Wow.
Really quite insulting for Joan Jett. Really just not cool at all. So that's why I wanted to say how funny it was. And also she took it to Vegas. You know, she's had a residency in Vegas forever. And this is one of the songs she does. She absolutely loves it. Now, let's quickly talk about Joan Jett, because she is the reason we are here. I went looking for her. Yesterday, I dealt with a rock band. I missed you, Has. I was talking about Talking Heads. Do you know The Road to Nowhere?
Yeah.
So I was talking about that song. They're quite quirky, that band.
I heard the podcast, really cool.
I like the fact that you list. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Not live, the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast. You can do that, by the way. If you want to hear about Talking Heads, go to the podcast, Pulse 95. And in it, they were talking how the guitarist used Susie Quattro as a kind of... She was an idol to him, and I thought, Susie Quattro. I remember my dad loving Susie Quattro. Something about her wearing leather trousers and looking super cute. And I remember my dad saying that, and my mum would roll her eyes. It was one of those things in the house. So anyway, I went looking, funnily enough, for this song and went, oh, it's Joan Jett, not Susie Quattro. I'm getting my female kind of rock cool chicks mixed up. So Joan Jett, wonderful, American rock singer, songwriter, composer, musician, sort of blood and rock, music blood through and through, a front woman of this band. But the band only existed because she was given some money by a studio who said, all right, here we go. Here's some money, go write an album. I'm obviously condensing the version.
Where is that studio?
No, but you know what I mean. They were like, come on, produce it now. And she said, no, I need a band. I'm going to go and get a band. Now, at this point, they said there isn't enough money for a band. There's only enough money to support you. And she said, I'm not doing it without a band. And off she went. She put a little advert out that said, three nice guys needed or something. And
that's funny.
Yeah, I know. And then found from that, she got this guy who came forward and said, right, I can play this. Yeah. And there was a guy sleeping on his couch at the time, and he went, he's really good on the bass. You see, this is how these things happen.
But you know, there's a lot of lessons right there, Anna, for this one. For me, just ask for help. Just ask. Just throw it out there.
Right.
I fall a lot into that. Like, just sometimes ask. I go on my social media. Anyone, like, I need a photographer that day. Boom, you get 5 people.
Really?
Just sometimes
Amazing.
The only thing is ask. Just ask.
It's
I love
absolutely amazing. Well, that's what she did. Laguna was the assistant that said, don't get a band. She was like, no, I'm getting a band. And she put the advert out. I'm just looking, I think it was in Long Beach. Anyway, so people replied. She got 3 guys. Off they went. They completely did it by themselves. They ran out of money. Then they produced an album, then they tried to release it themselves. It didn't look like it was going well. They were in a lot of trouble, but they were performing, trying to gig, living moment to moment, day to day. And then suddenly something happened. They did the most amazing performance at one of the venues, and bam, everyone went, this is a defining performance, and they were given money, and then they started getting the deals. There was also something else really amusing. I'm just trying to find. They've got all sorts of funny awards and things like that, but it was Joan Jett in the 80s that suddenly shot to fame. She was the one. Different people left and came and went and all that kind of stuff. It was always Joan Jett that the record companies concentrated on, but she could never perform properly unless she had a band of guys, rockers around her. That was her formula. And that's what happened here. And the Arrows gave her the song, by the way. The guy went, you'd be great for this. And when she released this, it was their biggest hit. So there you go. That's the story. They've done lots of other things, but I'll be here forever, ever, ever talking about it. Britney Spears does do a very good version, but there's no version like this. So this is the version. We're going to play it now. And this is the version that you will hear on any dance floor, through any party set, when you're out and you're halfway through the evening and you think that singing it's a really good idea.
100%. Big House and Anna's Coffee will be singing at the end of the show. We're doing a cover for it.
We're not doing karaoke again. Don't make me. All right, Joan Jett and the Blackheads. No, the Black Hearts.
Yellow Home
With Anna Schofield.
and Big House.
And we're live through till 8 o'clock, but it's 25 to 7. Are you about to go nuts at me?
Well, you know, when we started the show, Anna, you said, yo, Huss, check this out. Yo, hey. You didn't say that.
I don't believe I said that.
You didn't say that. I'm
Yo,
like, okay.
yo,
No.
fall on my enemies.
Yo, fall on my... I'm telling you, once Anna Schofield meets people like Stormzy and Snoop Dogg, that video will go viral. They'll be like, say what you say? And then you get Giannis in the back. Fall on who? Shout out to Giannis. 7 feet. Okay, LG rolls out battery run face mask with air purifier in the UAE.
Yeah.
It costs around 700 dirhams, and it can be used for 4 to 8 hours. I'm looking at it, and I have no idea how you like it. Why?
Oh, it's awful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was doing some British sarcasm there. And when I said to you, I really want an air purifier on my face, think I'll look good, you still like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I really
you
got that, you know, because we are pure intention, us Arab people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You are pure and pure. No, it is. It's a 2 air purifier fitted onto your mask.
Yeah.
So basically, LG Electronics has launched them, and it's a battery-powered face mask. I mean, battery-powered face mask kind of tells the story, girls, doesn't it?
But you know what it does?
Yeah, it purifies the air.
That, and it makes sure that your glasses don't fog up.
Why, has it got glasses with it?
Look, I'll show you. Can you?
It's like an identity
Watching
kit.
a video here.
Okay.
You see the reason why glasses fog up is that there is a space between the mask and your nose and your eyes, right?
Yeah, got it.
So this one is kind of covered, and this is one of the advantages of this mask, and it kind of purifies 700 dirhams.
But you do. But I'm not going to lie. You look ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. Battery operated. It has 2 fans and high efficiency particular air filters, Anna.
Yep.
And this is something that could be featured on the future talk. I'm just saying, like, maybe they could review it.
I'm sure they will. But I mean, it's a proper piece of gear on your face.
Yeah.
It's a proper piece of kit. You strap it onto your ears and off you go. It looks like it'll take you a while to get
Agreed.
anywhere.
Space.
Yeah, you may as well wear a helmet. And I'm just thinking of, you go out to dinner, you meet your husband, and you're looking forward to a lovely evening, and you rock up with that thing on your face. It's just, this whole era is such a weird time. I saw a friend today, a working friend, but it's lovely seeing him. And honestly, the last time we seen each other, there were no masks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the world was a different place, and the whole thing's so strange.
In the weekend, I was just on and about, and there was a exhibition somewhere, design, exhibition, and I was walking in, and I saw somebody. I was with my wife and son. I saw somebody. They kept saying hey, and I kept saying hey, and my wife was like, "Who's that?" I'm like, I have no idea. Just roll. I have no idea who that is. Because like the mask.
The mask.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, and they really looked like they're welcoming me, and they know me. So I have no idea. We were a bit far, and I was like, I have no idea. I was like, yeah, hey, who there? Who are you?
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah.
And,
I don't speak mask either when someone's got a mask on.
Some people, when they have the mask on and you still act confused, they lower them. Oh, that's you.
It's
okay.
you. But isn't it funny how you need a nose and mouth to actually
Truth.
sort of identikit the
Agreed.
person? It's just so. And actually, when I was meeting this friend, I was walking towards him, and of course, I haven't. It's not only that I haven't seen him since February. I probably hadn't seen him for 6 months before that because we had no need to. So it's been a year, and probably both of us changed quite a lot.
Okay.
So just with the eyes and the hair that had changed, I was looking, thinking, is that him? I'm not sure.
Wouldn't it be funny? Be like, hey, what's up, Thomas? I'm like, I'm not Thomas. But it's always a breaker, right?
Fall on my enemies.
Yeah, it would be like, fall on my enemies. It'd be like, it's the pandemic, honey. I didn't know. Don't take it so offensive. It can really break things, right? Make friends and stuff like that. Imagine two people meeting that way and getting married at the end of the day. That'll be a nice story.
What, they meet with masks on?
Yeah, they meet like that by confusion, right?
Oh, so like, I see. Oh, I like it. That's that's a film.
A boy or a girl, they meet each other.
Submit that to Netflix. It could be one of those Arabic ideas. What? No, it's
Arabic idea.
Go and do an Arabic idea.
It's an international idea and anyone can use it. It's not Arabic.
I know, but it can happen in Arabia.
Okay, us, you mean. It's our idea.
You're Arab. You have the idea.
Truth.
There's the film. Relatable to everybody.
You think that's a cool film?
Yeah, but don't you think it's going to happen?
It'll be a funny
Boy
film.
Meets Girl, that's the new one. They had masks on, they had a bit of a row.
And then they have one argument.
She says, fall on my enemies.
Exactly.
He's rude.
And then Stormzy comes in, fall on who? That'll be a nice cameo right there. Stormzy, shout out. Follow my enemies, you guys. There's a song called...
He likes it when I do.
The song is called Rainfall, right? And it's also by Stormzy. And she really hums it in the background when we were playing that song. So fall on my enemies. So like, I'm just imagining you guys having dinner at the family and you're like all of a sudden, fall on my enemies.
Yeah. Oh, my kids hate it if I sing something that's even vaguely...
I kind of like it. I understand why the kids hate it,
yeah,
but I like it.
They're like, don't be embarrassing.
You should come in today and say, fall on my enemies.
My son finds it hilarious and my daughter goes, don't, you're really embarrassing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you a lot about having teenagers in the house. How does that feel? What do you think about it? Let's talk about that up next.
You want to talk about that now? Or
no,
in a
next.
minute?
Up next.
I was going to say
Is that possible?
Yeah, let's do it.
Invade your privacy a little bit.
I don't mind. It's them that will mind because they're the embarrassed teenagers.
Okay, let them tune in.
Yella Home
With Ella Schofield.
and Big House.
And we are both live till 8. And by the way, I haven't said it, but it is the day before the weekend. So we are ready for the weekend. All right. Settle down now.
Okay, sorry, I got excited there.
Very excited.
Very excited.
You were properly stuck there. American Airlines and British Airways are the latest to offer pre-flight COVID tests to passengers.
Nonsense.
Now, there's a big fight going on. What do you mean? What do you mean nonsense?
I didn't say nonsense.
Oh, what did you say?
Nonsense.
Yep. Okay, so it's not nonsense. They are doing it on purpose. They've basically been having a row with governments, going, look, all this quarantining is stupid. You don't need to do it. Look at other countries not doing it, i.e. the UAE. They also pointed out Germany, various others. They said you don't need 2 weeks of lockdown because it's killing the it's killing the industry,
economy,
the economy. Yeah, it is.
Agree with that.
No one can go to the UK and sit there for 2 weeks. You know, it's just not happening.
Yeah, I was going to have something in Saudi Arabia, but they really requested 1 week to be off as well, or 4 or 5 days to be off, and it kills the project.
The whole thing, yeah.
Because you can't stay, for that long.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So what are they saying now, these airlines?
So they're going, right, look, all you have to do is whoever's travelling, the person who is travelling takes a COVID test 3 days before they leave the country. They then try and stay quarantined, don't interfere with anyone. On the flight, on the way to the flight, they take a COVID test.
Okay.
After the flight, they do a test on the plane and then something else when they get there. And basically, over that period of days, the airlines are saying that's all you need to do, which means that when they arrive, they don't have to quarantine for a week or 2 weeks.
Interesting.
I know.
Something else when they get there. What kind of test would I get?
You know what I mean?
I'm just kidding. No, but
it's
seriously.
True. The specifics are a little hazy. Basically, they're going to a little hazy. Fall on my enemy. So they're going to do the test on the plane.
Yeah.
And they are so convinced that this will work because obviously they've got beautiful models like the UAE's model, Germany, various other countries that it's working for. They've said, right, we don't care what you say to the governments. You're being stupid. So we will now, literally, this is what they're like, we're going to do the tests and then we'll show you.
That would be interesting, right?
At the moment, people still have to quarantine in the UK. They still have to do that. However, they are going to go ahead and do the COVID testing so they can show the government that it's fine
and the testing on the plane are free.
Flying and,
free testing.
Yeah, they're just going to do it. Yeah, you don't have to pay for it.
That's so cool. So I'll just travel to do a COVID test. That'd be funny.
And you can volunteer to take 3 COVID-19 tests as part of the trial programme. One at home before departure, here we go, one upon arrival at London Heathrow, and a third test to when you actually arrive there. They're saying basically that flying is so safe, and actually that's what I've read.
Yeah.
Flying is so safe because the air pressure in the cabin changes all the time, and that it does that anyway, just to keep the right temperature and also to keep oxygen in there. So the virus is sucked up into the systems. It's not actually. Why are you laughing?
I'm not. Did you guys hear me laughing? I'm not sure. I think Anna, you're hearing voices.
I'm hearing voices. No, I've got the visual of you. But it is, all the air is sucked up into the systems and spat back out again. So the virus is completely, it's very safe to fly.
Interesting. Would you fly now?
I would actually.
She would. Anna would.
Yeah, I would.
She would get that mask as well. Go get her that mask, ladies and gentlemen.
That gorgeous, attractive mask with the air purifier on your nose.
Yeah, 100%.
Yellow Home
With Anna Schofield.
and Big House.
And we are live through till 8 o'clock. It's 7:20 already. Does anyone else feel that today has gone really, really quickly?
It's because you have good company,
You make the time race, Big House.
Allah. Anna Schofield, this is crazy.
do.
The voice of Emirates and an iconic voice. But this is incredible news, Anna. Now plain food will be sold or could be sold in shops and flights to nowhere. Airlines try to stem pandemic losses.
And it's
would
already
you buy?
happening.
Yeah. Would you buy plain food like in a store?
Well, the thing is, they're starting with the business class food, and they've started selling it. Now, business class food is quite yummy. It's nicely done.
I think food, obviously food is food, and alhamdulillah, blessings to that.
Yes, I hear you. Yeah.
But it's I've never been a fan of airplane food.
No, because it's very packaged and very
Could be.
plasticky,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of sort of preservatives in everything because there needs to be, because it
Over
can't
30,000
be
feet.
fresh. Yeah, 30,000 feet, and if you've got 15-hour flights, it's got to sit there for 10. Some of the food, you know what I mean? It's got to have preservatives in it. So that's the way it is. But some of the business class and the first class food is delicious, and obviously everyone's trying. Some of the flight carriers, they're desperately trying to keep everyone on. They want to keep the catering company going.
Yeah, and also like kind of have their losses a little bit cut, at least few
Exactly.
percentages.
Yeah, so they started selling the plain food in shops. I'm not sure that I would buy it because it's very packaged.
Yeah.
But it looked quite nice when I saw it on the shelves. And also this flights to nowhere business is kicking off. People, do you remember that? There was the flight to nowhere
Yeah.
and you didn't know where you were going. And did your voice break?
Did you hear that? What happens with that? Because this is one of the funniest things that happens when your voice breaks.
Oh, teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Why does that happen?
So it's happening to my boy at the moment.
Really?
yeah.
It breaks a lot.
Yeah, halfway through a sentence.
And why does that happen, like in your opinion?
Well,
Like your voice is tired or
medically, no. Boys' voices break. I mean, that's part of growing up.
So am I still
voices-
growing up?
So, yes.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
think it'll ever happen. No, for you that was tiredness, but teens obviously are going through that. And he'll be halfway through a sentence and he'll start off up here and suddenly say, no, it's 34. And it's so funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Shout out, Albie.
And we crack up laughing. I actually said to him, are you sensitive about it? Because we are crying with laughter when it happens.
Seems like it's funny.
And I said, and he went, no, it's
That's
funny,
cool.
right? Yeah, he's just chill.
He's a giant now, becoming a gentle
He's
giant.
a giant with a voice that's all over the place.
Okay, going back to this airplane
Yeah.
thing, so how we shift. Apparently, they could sell like the meal with 11.7 pounds, which is
11 points, so it's £11.70 pence.
that one.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. That's like, right, hang on. It's
50
about
dirhams?
70 dirhams.
It's a meal. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's just interesting that, see, this is what pandemic did generally. Like, it has just pushed people, businesses, to create something new. And there's,
True.
obviously we all are talking about 2020 now, and we're, nearly ending. Next month is the end of the year, right? And you feel like 2020 has been really heavy on us, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't know what 2021 has
I
for us
know,
over.
I know,
And people
I
are saying,
think
I hope 2020 is over. Well, you don't know what 2021 is.
Because we all wanted 2019 off.
Correct.
Where everyone was like, get rid of that year.
Oh
we
my
hate
God.
it.
Yeah.
And then we
Sister,
got the
that's the truth.
Australian
Yes.
fires. Yeah. And we thought that was bad. Oh, the fires.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we had a global pandemic. And
Global pandemic, and we're living it. We are, we're going to tell our great children, if we live. And this is This is something that we passed through it. We are in the middle of the storm.
They were selling plain food in shops.
Yeah,
we all
like,
wore
what?
masks.
Plain food in shops? Oh my God. You guys wear masks? Really?
Yeah, masks everywhere. It's weird, isn't it? They'll be going, oh my God, did you really do that? You wore masks everywhere. I'm like, yeah. Had to take it off to eat. Yeah.
That's funny. That's actually funny. But yeah, so the zubda is, would you actually buy plain food? Yes or no? You would.
I wouldn't really. Would you?
No.
No.
You would?
No.
No, I didn't. Don't feel peer-pressured.
No. Only because of the preservatives in it. But I understand why. Yeah, I think it's clever.
Okay, also what's clever, go check out our Pulse 95 Radio Instagram. Anna Scovey just posted a hilarious story. Our bell, Yellow Home bell,
That's
has
a
been
big
missing.
promo. Hilarious. I mean, you're setting me up here. People are not going, that wasn't hilarious.
It is funny. It's funny. Our bell has been missing. We have a bell in the studio, and it's Yellow Home bell, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, you presenters out there, if you're listening, this goes to you. Who hit the bell somewhere really crazy? If you want to know where, go check it out on Pulse 95 Instagram, because what?
Yeah.
What were you thinking? Whoever did this? I mean, it's creative. Don't get me wrong.
How long's it been there? Because the bell's been missing for a while.
Exactly, Anna Scovey, and we are furious about it.
If you liked this episode of Yellow Home, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.